I am now going to the Crystal Cave. This must be worth it, and the entrance fee is $16. So we'll see. There it is, Crystal Cave sign. My schedule is 1 o'clock, and the visitor center woman said that I have to be in this area 10 minutes before 1. I am very early. It's just 12:30.
So this is a tiny little thousands and thousands and thousands of years, so long that plantations up there on the ceiling are the tree roots coming in, then they're absorbing all the moisture that's in the air. So they're coming in for a drink as well. That's not why they're important, not because they there that are completely straight, long and thin, are what we call straws. So a straw is completely hollowed, and just like a paper straw, they can get blockages. So the blockage could be caused by a grain of sand or a build-up of calcite, and then the water can't flow down the centre of the straw. The water will flow over the top of the straw and deposit the calcite as it flows down the outside. So that's where we get our stalagmites. Tight. When the water drips off the bottom of the stalactite and lands on the floor, you get your stalagmite growing up, and one day they might reach the ceiling. If they join, you get what we call a column. So there's a couple of columns up there on that little shelf, and there's a really, really big one, all caused by different minerals. So up here we've got a piece of streaky bacon, and you can see that really white fatty section of the bacon up there is actually pure calcite. So not much else has been picked up by the water. But the orange line and the yellowy lines are because of different levels of iron oxide that have been collected when the water's been flowing through the rock. There's another shawl up here. And a beautiful one out here. So they're all flow stones. Davy Jones's beard over here is also a flow stone. We've got another dripstone up here. Some honeymooners on the edge of the cliff having a cuddle. Behind you all is another flow stone. So at one stable prince, and that bit feels a little bit like wax. Preservation for the cave because it keeps the humidity up a little bit in here, so it keeps it a little bit more natural. I want to show you now where Crystal Cave gets its name. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, so the edge.
So 120 years ago, when Henry White came into this chamber, this covered the entire roof of the cave. So the whole roof was covered with these tiny little sparkles, and it looked, well, I don't know, it would have looked amazing. So any idea what they might be? Not glowworms, no, because if they were glowworms and we had the lights on, they wouldn't be glowing. No idea? Okay. So the reason that there's or a giraffe, I think it looks more like a giraffe. And behind him there's a dog or a pig's head.
Oh,
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
What?
Some beautiful, beautiful shoals up there. Now this green section on the cave ceiling up here is actually an algal bloom. So you can see a lot of those water droplets up there. Now back when the first lights were put in the cave, they used those old style lights that produced a lot of heat. So the heat, the moisture and the light was perfect conditions for that algal to bloom. and it's called lampan flora. We will never actually get rid of that without poisoning it, which we won't do because that's bringing something else into the cave that's not here naturally. So now we've changed the lights to lights that don't allow photosynthesis, so that won't spread, but it will never go away. Unfortunately, another human. I'll shine past. You missed it. You missed the prettiness. Oh, I bet they are. They still have lots of water in too, so yeah. 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 I'm alright. I'm alright. Animals and plants. But this is a really pretty section too. That's calcite. Stalactites hanging down from the roof of this section. Have a look at the bottom of them and see if you can see something a little bit unusual about all of those. Must be. So if you have a look at these stalactites, you can see they all finish at a similar level. So they've all thrown down and then stopped. So they don't touch the sand. So this too was a stream 25 years ago. Went all the way out into the viewing area out there into Jewel City. It was a beautiful stream. Again, the water table has dropped, unfortunately. Was built because of an earthquake. So back in 1968, we had a rather large earthquake about 120 kilometres east of Perth in a little town called Meccarin. So the earthquake registered 6.9 on the Richter scale, damaged buildings in Perth and was even felt up here in the park. And because of that, this was put in as our go-to safety place. If anything ever happens, this is where we run to. So this is our earthquake tunnel. Doesn't look like it would do much, but they tell us it's good. So that's where we would. Forehead on the right-hand side, nose pointing straight down, and then a chin on the left. This is our cave guardian. So he's looking in the cave to make sure we're all doing the right thing and that nobody touches. All drying out up there as well. Some more over here. Quite a pretty little patch up there. This is our wishing well. So many moons ago, people would flick a coin into the water and make a wish. We no longer allow people to do that. It's not good for the water, it's not good for the soil. So you can all just have a wish without flicking a coin. Root liner in here. So the water in this section is allowed to flow straight back down into the mound so that we're not just drawing water out all the time and it just evaporates into the fire. Down there, that's the first stairs we went down. Where Henry's son lives, we've done a loop. Bit of a loop-de-loop. Yep, cornflake clusters.